Yeah. Templars. Mud on the boots. Mud on the boots. Blood in the rain. Blood in the rain. Generations buried, so we'd remember their names. Now the old ghosts whisper from the trenches below. Was this the future? Great-grandfather freezing in the trench-line grave. Shall fire shaking earth every sunrise, a gamble to stay. Another fought plague, another fought famine. Another crossed mountains with nothing but faith in his hands. They buried their brothers, they buried their sons. Watched entire cities burn under smoke, black suns. They endure what modern minds can barely comprehend. And every sacrifice was made for descendants in the end. But somewhere down the road, the memory got lost. People want the inheritance without remembering the cost. Comfort became a kingdom, consumption became a creed. Everybody got opinions, nobody got belief. Mud and blood, blood and mud. That's the price our fathers paid. Now we're rich, now we're safe. But what have we become today? The old dead stare from forgotten graves, asking what survives after all they gave. Matthew 24:6, wars and rumors of wars. The headlines never stop, every nation keeping score. Everybody swears they're building peace, yet every year the chaos seems to increase. Fear sells faster than truth, anger spreads like disease. And politicians harvest panic like farmers harvest wheat. The old world trembles, the foundation shake. People feel something's wrong but don't know what to blame. Mud and blood, blood and mud. That's the price our fathers paid. Now we're rich, now we're safe. But what have we become today? 2 Timothy chapter 3. Paul already saw the signs. People loving self, people loving wealth, putting every other god above something higher than themselves. Proud, arrogant, ungrateful, cold. Every generation thinks the warning's getting old. Everybody chasing pleasure, nobody chasing truth. Everybody wants rights, nobody wants duty. Everybody wants freedom, nobody wants restraint. Everybody wants a crown, nobody wants the weight. The mirror's uncomfortable, that's why people turn away. But civilization doesn't stand on comfort every day. Romans 1:18, the warning still remains. Suppress the truth long enough and justice starts to decay. Call darkness light, call light darkness. Rewrite the map and wonder why you're lost. Facts become negotiable, reality gets bent. People start believing whatever serves the moment best. This society can survive poverty, survive disaster and war. But when it loses truth itself, what remains worth fighting for? Listen. The dead aren't asking for perfection, they're asking for memory, they're asking for courage, they're asking for gratitude, they're asking whether the inheritance was worth the price they paid. Whoa, 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 whoa. Matthew 24:12, because wickedness increases, love grows cold. And maybe that's the deepest wound of all the warnings told. Not armies, not famine, not collapse, not fear, but hearts becoming colder with every passing year. Neighbors becoming strangers, families falling apart, millions connected online, yet alone in the dark. The old ghost stands silently watching Europe tonight, not demanding worship, not demanding praise, only asking, do you remember who you are? In Europe where the blessed stone towers rise, our ancestors marched through famine beneath ash-colored skies. They fought the Black Plague when over half the realm died. Held the iron gate shut while the war drums cried. Built roads through mountains with bleeding hands. Raised great cathedrals across the shattered lands. Faced winter storms that lasted 7 years, yet never bowed down, never ruled by fear. Now look at their heirs in the age of gold. Soft from comfort, forgetting stories told. Living in palaces their forefathers made, mocking every sacrifice that the old ones gave. The shield fathers crossed deserts with nothing but steel. The sons complain because life makes them feel. The grave mothers bury children and carried on. Their descendants crumble when the lights stay gone. The dead kings stare from their statues in shame, watching weak blood tarnish an immortal name. For the walls still stand, but the spirit is spent. The empire survived, but its courage went. So the ghosts gather nightly in the hall of flame, asking one question to those who bear the name. We endured war, plague, hunger, and pain. What excuse have you for becoming tame? Mud and blood, blood and mud. That's how the old world survived. The question for this generation, is it whether we're comfortable? It's whether we're worthy.